This is incredible. Folks, we have breaking news here on Locked On Phillies. The Phillies have made a trade. It includes a reliever and not a reliever coming back to the Philadelphia Phillies. This is a trade between, as Jeff Passan puts out in his tweet, I'll read you the tweet verbatim. Trade news, double hyphen, between two teams that could be facing one another in the World Series this year. The Philadelphia Phillies have acquired outfielder Austin Hayes and will be sending reliever Seranthony Dominguez and center fielder Christian Pache to the Baltimore Orioles. Did not see this coming remotely. There's so much to break down with this, so much to break down. Now, I know you want to know about Austin Hayes, and we're going to get to that, but I'm going to be honest. I'm going to have to pull up his baseball reference page and talk to you a little bit more in depth about Austin Hayes. He was not someone I had on my radar for the Phillies. But what does this say about other stuff the Phillies are going to look to do? Well, you move Seranthony Dominguez. You're really going to need to add another reliever now, maybe two. That kind of opens the door for more trades to be made. Christian Pache, it sucks to see him go. It does, because I'm not saying like, oh, he was a great player, this kills the Phillies, but there were flashes, right? We know why Seranthony Dominguez goes. He's been struggling the past 2 years. He had a great time in Philadelphia at points. He wasn't really getting the job done. If you're going to upgrade at the bullpen, there are going to be guys that have to end up in the minors or moved, and Seranthony Dominguez was probably one of the odd men out. When we were running through the bullpen yesterday, I forgot about him, honestly. So it makes sense. And the Pache thing makes sense too. With Austin Hayes coming here, you've got an outfield spot that you need to open up. It just, I always believed that Pache had more in the tank than what he had shown. The ceiling feels very high when you watch him play, but the floor is very, very low. And he never came quite close to reaching that ceiling. So best of luck to both of those guys down there in Baltimore with Seranthony Dominguez and Pache heading in the trade. Austin Hayes, this is going to be very interesting how he fits into the outfield with the Philadelphia Phillies already on the roster. So the outfielders you still have on the roster, Weston Wilson, not a steady piece, but Weston Wilson, Brandon Marsh, Johan Rojas, Nick Castellanos, and I guess we can count Kyle Schwarber, even though he's going to DH for the rest of forever. But Austin Hayes is an interesting option. He's a righty. Of course, you didn't even have to look at the baseball reference page to know he was a righty. The Philadelphia Phillies were always looking to add right-handed bats in the outfield. He's 29 years old, so not too old, not too young. He's arbitration eligible in 2025, so you have another year of team control with him, so that's a good thing. He's been an all-star once in his career. It was 2023. Here's what he did in that season where he was an all-star in 2023. He had 275 with 16 home runs, 36 doubles. He's had 35 doubles in 2022, 36 doubles in 2023. So that gap-to-gap kind of pop is good. 60 RBIs in 2022, 67 RBIs in 2023. So as far as the ability at the plate, he's a guy that, he hits lefties really well. He was an all-star last year. Okay, I tried to sell you on Whit Merrifield being an all-star last year, and that's a reason for acquiring him. So I don't know that goes as far anymore with Phillies fans as it did before the season. Here's what he's doing so far this year. He's batting .255 with 3 home runs. Hasn't really got a lot of opportunities. He's only played in 63 games so far this year. The Orioles are very good. He's a guy that I guess just kind of got lost in the shuffle down there in Baltimore with that team being as talented as they are. 175 plate appearances. He's only walked 9 times, so struck out 40 times. That's not a great sign. I do not love that at all. A strikeout guy, I've got to imagine a lot of those are against righties, though. The platoon numbers, because he will undoubtedly be a platoon with either Brandon Marsh or Johan Rojas, and being that he's a righty, it seems like it would make the most sense that he would platoon with Brandon Marsh.
You are Locked On Phillies, your daily Philadelphia Phillies podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.